Hello, I am going to be showing you this Gemini CD200. It is a dual disk drive unit. I have it hooked up. Unfortunately, the sound system I have that works with this only has one hookup, so I only have it hooked up to one of them, and I'll be switching them back and forth as we go through demonstrating. But we should start off with some basic things. There's a power button right here in the front. You press that and everything turns on. I'm gonna clean my camera lens and then come back. Right, there you go. You can also give you a better view of this. I'd have to move that. But this can be set up, because it has legs on the back, it can be set up upright. There's a power button right here. That's a little hard to see, the lights. There you go. And then the two eject buttons. These all work, as I'll demonstrate. Eject, close, and open, close. The only button on here that's exclusive to this lower unit, which will be screwed into the rack, is the power control, which is currently on. Everything else also has mirror commands on the upper units. And on the back, it has connections for main unit 1 and to main unit 2. And connect in the back of this unit. So each has its own wired system. This system also comes with wires that I will show you at the end. But I think I should show you a little more of this thing working, because currently they have no discs in them. And what good's a CD system if there's no CD in it? So I just legitimately grabbed a disc out of the cabinet, and I'm gonna put that in. I'm not gonna play very long sections of music, just because, well, we're on YouTube and copyright's a thing. Alright, so when you put it in, it brings you to track 1. It does not automatically play. But you have controls like a slow, precise move through, both forward and backward, a fast forward, and a rewind with the dial. If you want to go track to track, you have the one track either way controls. You can hold it and it will go a few tracks. Or if you're at track 1 and you want to be at a much later track, you can go in groups of 10. Let's start at track 1. You have your pitch control over here, your seamless loop section, which I will show you in a little bit once we have something playing, your single button, the time selection to select which time you have listed here. You also have a stop button, which will stop. I don't know if you can hear the stop there. Once it's stopped, it's safe to eject, and you can play, and it will start reading the disc again. Your pitch control up here, if you have that off, the pitch levers don't actually do anything. can also cue things. The cue button. But we're going to now play a track and show that working. The first thing we need to do before starting playing is making sure we are hooked up. If you hook this thing up in the beginning, it's not a problem, but I'm going to unplug it. I know I should turn that off, but red to red, white into white. Back there. And then if we hit play, you can hear that playing. Sorry. My TV decided that music wasn't actually worth staying on for. And just powered off. I guess it's not getting a video signal, which is bothering it, but we can select a start point, an end point, and it will loop those. You can select your different settings for programming loops. And I gotta stop that because I think we played enough of that song. But I'm gonna flip songs just because I want to show you. Oh, I switched pitch on. Pitch, in fact, does work. Actually, we just turn it off and then use the pitch control buttons. And those do work. And I know this is a bit redundant, but I will go through all of the settings on the right side just to show that both sides do in fact work. But I'm going to rewire this, get the disc switched over, which I'll show you that it opens. Well, I'll get all this switched over for the next section, and I'll meet you back in a second. Welcome back. This is a demonstration of the right side set of the system. We're first going to eject the tray, put the disc in, and put it, and return it. And that's using this control to show this control also does work. I'm probably going to do this in a different order than I did it the first time. Also, I bumped this, so pitch control does work. But I'll show you that in music. And stop works. Play works. And the loop works. And so does the pitch control. Single button works. It starts before it lets me switch through time modes. You can go forward a track, back a track, forward 10 tracks. And all buttons do work. Your fast forward, your rewind, and your fine selection knob. They all work. They, again, if you turn pitch off and bump this, it's not a problem because it's not turned on. And we're going to stop that. But there you go, there's a demonstration of all the buttons and all the controls for both sides. I'm going to come back in a second and show you the cables which will involve unplugging this and getting the other cables from the box. So we'll see you in a second. Hello and welcome to the back of the device. These are pretty standard cables. They just plug in and unplug. They have a lot of pins, so I'm going to be a little careful with them. But it's a pretty standard connection. There's no difference between the right and left cable. They are interchangeable. All you have to do is make sure to plug the cable from one side to the same side on the controls, otherwise your controls will be reversed. And both sides of these cables are the same. There are the two controls for the two different sides included with this. And also included is the paperwork and the audio cables, as well as some pads. There's the operations manual and the power cord. I'll unplug that to show you that, because we're done showing the operation of the device. It's a standard 2-prong connector, and it plugs into the back here in a permanent manner. It is not removable. Sorry, it's upside down, but it's very standard. I'll turn you upside down so you can see. There's your serial number. Oh. That has been the Gemini CD200. I hope you've enjoyed